Chicago Sports Desk. As always, I'm Alex Burstein, and welcome back to the show. Today we are going over the in-season sports. So, professionally, that is American, because all around the world is different ones. But America, professional sports, so that is basketball, hockey, football, and then we're nearing the end of the season for MLS soccer. So let's start. So our order for today is going to be Bulls, then Blackhawks, then Bears, then Fire. So if you want to skip ahead to a certain one, you can skip. Each segment will be around 3 minutes, so you can just skip ahead if you want one. So we're going to start with the Bulls. The Bulls are 0-3 and 14th in the Eastern Conference. No surprise there. Everybody expected them to not be that good this year, and that's basically what they've been this season. Last night they blew a 14-point lead. I mean, I guess that was promising, but of course they blew it to lose 119-112 to a LeBron James-led Cavs. It was an interesting game because LeBron James played point guard and scored 30 points. So some debate around that. Too bad it was not about the Bulls, but LeBron now gained the limelight, even at a different position. So, after the game, though, James and Dwayne both praised rookie Lauri Markkanen for his efforts during the game. So far, he's been the most promising rookie, pretty much the most promising player we have on our roster, and that will probably stay the same until Levine comes back, Levine, my bad. But he's been pretty good so far. At least technically speaking, 10 threes through his first 3 games. He scored 5 in the first half yesterday, so that was really cool. But they still were not able to hold on to the lead. So, because ever since, Derrick Rose, it seemed like they were at the top of their future. Then slowly they got down. Butler gave him a little promise, then back down. Levine, none. And then Markkanen, a little. But they are not doing good so far, so they continue tomorrow at 7 p.m. against the Atlanta Hawks. Chicago Blackhawks, on the other end, are actually doing pretty good this season. They're 5-3-2 and second in the Central Division. They lost a tough one 4-2 last night, but that's because they were playing the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the expansion team. That's actually the best team in the league right now, I believe. They're 7-1-0, so they're definitely doing really good this season. So it was 4-2, but they definitely have looked good in their other games. They looked good in this game, they just couldn't bring it out in the end. But they are regretting a few other moves. A few of their players that they let go of in the past few seasons are shining in other teams right now, but they really don't need them. They might want to make a few line changes, as there's a few things that Coach Q wants to change in the lineup, and then he also wants to get this Ryan Hartman thing figured out. Ryan Hartman had a really bad slashing penalty last night against one of the Knights players, fined $2,300. So Blackhawks want to put that game behind them and move on to their next game, which is going to be Friday night at 7:30 p.m. And I believe that is home here at the United Center, and that's going to be a nice game here, as they are playing Nashville Predators, the team they lost to in the first round of the playoffs last year. Next, we're going to go into the Bears. Probably the only team on this list that won their last game. The other 3 teams did not win their last game, and the Bears actually have. So the Bears are 3-4. They're still in last place in the NFC North, behind the Packers, Lions, and Vikings. Not in that order, but they are showing some promise after 2 straight wins. One in overtime versus the Falcons, and then Ravens, getting my birds mixed up, and then a very nice one this weekend, 17-3 against the North Carolina Panthers. It made the Panthers look absolutely humiliating after this game. 3 forced turnovers by the Bears, so their defense was really on point, and also Eddie Jackson. Remember the name, the year to the date, I believe, after getting injured at Alabama, comes back, becomes the first player in NFL history to return 2 interceptions or fumbles, 75-plus yards for a touchdown in one game. So he accounted for 14 of those points. Then they got one more field goal, and that was enough to hold off the Carolina Panthers. The Bears have actually done a trade too today, though, also helping their case. They traded for Dontrell Inman. Not a lot of people know about him. I have done a little bit of research on him just before he got traded. I thought he was a very interesting player. Loves his slant routes and is pretty fast. He's not the best catcher, but he's a good addition to a weak wide receiver squad. And the Bears actually did a really good thing here, only giving up a 7th round pick next year. So they're hoping to improve that wide receiver squad, and they play again this weekend, I believe, and I'm not sure against who. Let me check on that real quick. My bad. They are playing against the... Actually, let's see. They are playing against the... One sec. Oh, right, I forgot. They're playing against the Saints at 12 on Sunday, which is actually going to be a really good matchup, considering the Saints are an up-and-down team this year, and the Bears are turning out to be an up-and-down team this year, too. So, finally, we're going to go into the MLS. The Fire, who are actually in a game right now. They are playing at home, but it's looking like it might be their last game of the season. They are down 2-0 in the 26th minute against the New York Red Bulls. Red Bulls were the 6th seed. Fire were the 3rd seed. They just missed out on an automatic bid to the second round, and that's going to look like they're costing them. It is 2-0, and they're really hoping that they can improve on that. It's the 26th minute, so a lot could happen. But if you need a refresher on how this works, the 3rd plays the 6th seed, and the 4th plays the 5th seed in each conference. So on the western side, it's the Whitecaps playing the Earthquakes, and the Dynamo playing the Kansas City. And on the east side, it's the Fire playing the Red Bulls. That match is on right now, and the Atlanta United playing Crew SC. And the winner of those make it to the second round, where the top 2 seeds are awaiting. And the lower seed plays the number 1 seed, which is the Timbers in the west, and Toronto in the east. Toronto is going to probably make it to the MLS Cup, if not win at all, after they set a record for most points in the season scored. So, and then also they have on New York City FC is playing the higher seeded winner in the east, and the Sounders are playing the higher seeded winner in the west. And that's pretty much it. And then it's just final 8 teams from there, regular bracket. Top 2 teams advance to MLS Audi Cup, and the winner there is crowned the MLS champion. So thanks for listening, guys. That's all the time we have for today. Make sure to check out our Instagram at _Chicago_sports desk. And also, I'm going to be getting an email later this week, especially for this podcast, so you guys can email me ideas, or if you want to be on the podcast. I know a few of you guys have been asking to be a guest. I'm pretty busy right now, but in a few weeks, I'm going to have a lot of room on the show for some guests, so make sure to keep in saying those responses, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for listening, guys. Good night from Chicago. It is Alex Burstein.